Hi everybody, thanks for joining me today. The topic today is going to be a self-empowerment book that's really helped me a lot in my acting work and going after big things that without this I may not have taken action on. So the book is called The Greatest Salesman in the World. It's written by Og Mandino. You can just look it up. It's The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. And I started reading this book about 2 weeks before I got my first big acting job, which was a 7-episode guest star on LA Law, and I was 19. But it really enabled me to go for things. Basically what it is it's a story about an ancient salesman and how he succeeds and how a mentor passes on his secrets to being, the greatest salesman in the world, a really wealthy guy, onto a younger guy. But basically it's a program. It's just like a little book, but it's a program where they have 10 little tiny chapters talking about 3 or 4 pages each. And basically each of them has a topic that Og Mandino feels is important to be a great salesperson. So the first one is I will form good habits and become their slave. So it's habits. The second one is I greet this day with love in my heart. And that teaches you to, whenever you meet anybody, to silently say I love you. So that's powerful. The third one is I persist until I succeed. And the short chapters develop on each one of these. But basically you read the 3 to 4 page chapter, the first one, in the morning, and then after you eat lunch in silence, and then at the end of the day out loud. So it's like a habit, and you have to be willing to commit to it. And right before bed you read it aloud. So morning silent, afternoon silent, before bed out loud, and you read it for 30 days, and then you move on to the next scroll. They're called chapters, he calls them scrolls. So you move on to the next chapter, and you do the same thing until you work through them. And my guess is that you would then return back to chapter 1 after you do your 10 months. I needed to rewrite some of the chapters, all of the chapters in some sense, to get rid of sexist language. So it talks only about he and he and he, and some of the stuff like, I am a lion and all this stuff. I don't really like predators in the animal kingdom or in the human form. So, I make some changes. I keep the essence, but I take out what I'm uncomfortable with. And I didn't do that the first time that I started this, and I think that's why I became uncomfortable with it, is I didn't really address that. So I got a PDF of The Greatest Salesman in the World, and I just changed the words and cut and paste, and then printed them out. So yes, I've been doing this. I'm on the second scroll now. God willing, the universe willing, I'll do the rest of my life. And what it's basically done for me is, I didn't have a lot of support from family, discouragement really about like trying to make a big living as an actor and work with the best people and all this stuff. So where am I going to get that like confidence and that support when, society says, oh, acting is so hard, you have to be born into it? That's not true. Or you have to know somebody? That's not true. And or so few people make it, what makes you think you're going to make it? And just negative stuff, and then stuff from the family. So how am I going to get the confidence and also the principles of success that are going to enable me to take the action that I need to take? So if I'm going to call up a big agent, that's scary. But this book is like, you multiply your value 100-fold today, which means you do everything that you feel like might help you today, within ethical bounds today. which means you pick up the phone and you call. And when you're getting this kind of positive input 3 times a day, and right before you go to sleep aloud, you start to change. And for those of us that didn't have parents who said we could do everything in the world and meant it, we need to get that from somewhere. And I got this from this book, and a wonderful, girlfriend in my life, she introduced me to the book. And after I rewrote the sexist parts and the parts that I felt uncomfortable with, I'm ready to do it, and it makes a huge difference. I don't know, you have to experience it, and it's not a book that is supposed to be read and then put down once. It's something that's integrated, and I've heard Matthew McConaughey attributes a lot of his success to this book, and it's a way to be successful without I don't know, what does it cost, $5 or $8 for the book, and that's it. That's all you do, and you just have to know if you're willing to take the steps to actually incorporate them in your life. And you don't have to know how they work, just read them 3 times a day the way it's prescribed, and then move on to the next scroll and just keep going, and you'll probably see yourself change. So anyway, has this been helpful in my work, my artistic work? I'm not sure, but it has helped me to go after what I want on a big scale that I might not have done otherwise. And really incredible book. The certain of the language and the metaphors, I think, are dated, like I say, and male patriarchy kind of stuff, and that's the stuff I rewrote. So make it yours if you want to, and support yourself with it. There's really nothing harmful in there. It's basically just about love and persistence and taking action, while the other people are debating it and thinking about how they can't do it. You've already taken 30 actions towards your goal. It's really, really powerful stuff. So The Greatest Salesman in the World, or The Greatest Salesperson in the World, I would rename it, by Og Mandino. And yeah, it's a great one. It's just a great one, because it's more than just another self-help book. It's a program, and it's 30 days. You read 3 or 4 pages 3 times a day, and you watch yourself change. That's what I think happens. So thanks a lot. This is a tool for you actors who aren't taking action, massive action towards your goals, and maybe don't feel like you're worth it or something like that. This is great. Okay, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.